Emma Vigeland attended the Trump rally in Sunrise, Florida, and talked to some of the Trump supporters about their views on the impeachment investigation. Now, anyone paying close attention to it, or anyone paying any attention to it, knows that there's been an abundance of damning testimony against Donald Trump. There's been evidence of quid pro quo. There's been evidence that he did freeze the military aid to Ukraine in an effort to get the Ukrainian president to publicly announce an investigation into Biden to hurt his chances in the presidential election. Trump is a bad guy, it's very obvious. But what do Trump supporters think about it all? Let's take a look.
He is rooting out corruption by making himself seem corrupt, but he's not actually corrupt.
Well, so you're saying it's kind of a three-dimensional chess situation where he's playing the Democrats by them moving forward with impeachment?
Exactly, and they took the bait.
How so?
They're investigating him and they're just finding corrupt Democrats, not Republicans.
Who?
I don't want to comment on that because, like I said, I'm not fully informed on everything that's been going on in the proceedings, but the Bidens are definitely coming under some heat for this.
But why? Why? Like sometimes I just want to cry, like from just utter frustration. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really paying attention to what's happening. I'm not really informed, but yeah, look, Emma needs to realize, like, you lost him the second you said three-dimensional chess. He's like, I don't know what that is. I'm just gonna keep pretending as if Trump is like some genius who's making himself look like he's corrupt in an effort to catch corrupt Democrats. I'm losing my mind.
I just, every time this happens, am more and more like taken aback by how good Emma is at this stuff.
Yeah,
she's so calm.
She keeps a straight face.
There's like, because you never know what the response is gonna even remotely be. And then there's the moment where she goes, well, so, okay, where to start with this one? You know, like, and when you notice this guy here, he says things like he wants to sound super smart, but his overall approach to everything is flies so hard in the face of the facts that he still wants to use like the trappings of a smart person by saying things like, I don't want to comment on that as I'm not informed about all the goings on of the investigation.
You're not informed about any of it.
Yeah,
0%.
It's so rough. And that's just one of the many approaches people take when they answer questions from Emma.
And yet one more thing to make Florida look awesome. Here we go again. You know, I just think at this point that it's a waste of time to have conversations with people who are ill-informed. These are not constituents. These are cult members and fans. This is celebrity worship. If you pay attention to these people, I've had conversations with people who support Trump that actually have some information and talk about things that, even though I may disagree with them, is not something that they just pulled out of their derriere, right?
And so what?
But,
go ahead.
But then you see these people and you're like, you're having a conversation with, you know, I don't know. They love to do this to, you know, I think I enjoy it because they like doing this to black and brown people. Remember that ain't nobody got time for that lady went viral. They put the microphone in front of the most ignorant black and brown people when things happen in the communities so they can get sound bites. And then it's like everybody's laughing at these people. So now we're laughing at the white people, right? But it's the equivalent. It's a lack of education, a lack of information. And it is a waste of time to have conversations.
No, you know, it's funny, like I'm not laughing at them. Like, I'm devastated by this because this is the breakdown. This is how democracy breaks down, right? Yeah. Because in order to have a functioning democracy, you need an informed electorate.
Yeah.
And they just outright reject. That's the thing. Trump has taken what was and continues to be a very serious problem, fake news. But the fake news helped him, it didn't hurt him, right? He has taken that, and this is, I guess, a testament to his marketing skills. He has used the notion of fake news to his advantage to prime his supporters to think anything that's reported against him is fake. You shouldn't believe it. So they just outright reject every piece of evidence. And how do you, you're right. I mean, you can't debate them. You can't have an argument with them. You can't persuade them, which is why I get frustrated with Cenk when he addresses the MAGA guys on the show. Don't address the MAGA guys. The MAGA guys are a lost cause. We need to, you know, keep moving forward with the facts, with the evidence, the information, and hopefully it will sway, people in the middle, maybe the moderate Republicans, if they even exist anymore.
That's what I tweeted, Cenk, and I said, how dare you even dignify this with a response? Don't you do that. You can't out-talk them, you can't out-debate them, but you can outvote them. And that's where we need to focus our strengths, is not just with Donald Trump, but our local government. Anybody who has an ounce of this thinking, vote them out, because it's a cancer. And the dumbing down of America is real, and this is evidence of it. I don't want to pounce on these people, because these people really believe what they're saying. They really believe. Somebody told them all that ignorant stuff that you believe is true. They're coming for your plate.
But if you went to a Bernie rally and you interviewed a number of people,
I know,
would they be equally ridiculous on the other side? I just don't think so.
There are some people on the other side who are ill-informed and are just worshiping their favorite celebrity. That is what America has come to. And that's not a partisan thing. That just happens to be cancer over there. There are a lot of people who are like, Yang, you know how many Yang bumper stickers I've seen as of late? And it's this is our guy. And then when you have a conversation with those people and you're like, why is this your guy? Well, because he's gonna give everybody $1,000. But then
there was an event that Ramesh Srinivasan came out with a book, and you guys should all check it out. It's called Beyond the Valley, and he talks about not only the negative impacts of Silicon Valley, but he talks about what rural communities throughout the world are doing with technology that's really inspiring. Anyway, the majority of people there looked like they were Bernie supporters, but there was one person who had just come from a Yang rally, and they wanted to provoke, right? And so he raises his hand, he's like, I just came from a Yang rally, and I just want to know what's your problem with him and what's your problem with UBI? And I was like, I actually don't have a problem with UBI, but the issue is throwing $1,000 at a giant systemic problem is not gonna solve the problem, right? And so I calmly answered his question, and it looked like, to his credit, it looked like he got it.
Okay.
And I really respect that, because we might have some differences, but I wouldn't say that on the left you have these Trump type supporters who are
No, I'm not saying
almost cultish with their support.
Yeah.
So there might be differences, but what I like is that you're willing to have a conversation about it.
It's a conversation.
Yeah.
And for this, with Emma's videos and everyone, it's youtube.com/rebelhq, facebook.com/rebelhq. It's the curiosity that I have. I don't know if anyone really has the curiosity of an unknown element of what a Bernie supporter's thinking, of what a Warren supporter's thinking. I guess there's some other candidates who I might be asking, what are you thinking? But with Trump, it's just this crazy collection.
Yeah.
This eclectic, strange collection of people. And it doesn't seem like the priority really is change in the world or policy based in the world. It's more that it's a feeling.
Yeah, it's such a good point.
I wasn't, I'm not saying that, I'm not speaking specifically about Bernie. I'm talking about on the left, because there's a lot of fanaticism, right? But to support Bernie and to support AOC, you have to operate from a certain level of thinking, because it requires empathy, information. You're not afraid of the word socialism because you know what it really means. You see these people holding up these signs talking about how much socialism is bad, and they don't. You want your postman not to have a job? They don't really.
Look, this is Florida. I have a lot of experience with people in Florida because of who I'm married to. My husband is from Florida.
Same.
So there's a lot of there are a lot of Republican Cubans who are cashing their Medicare checks, and their Social Security, and they're like, I hate socialism, I escaped socialism in Cuba. No, we have socialism in America too, and it drives me nuts. We gotta go to the next video though, I'm sorry. So Emma did talk to others about this, and so let's hear what another Trump supporter has to say about the impeachment investigation.
They have nothing to go on. Bottom line, Trump is our president. He has been for 3 years. He's going to remain our president. They just don't have anything to go on except hate. Bottom line.
Well, what about Ambassador Sondland, who was Trump's appointee, saying that it was a quid pro quo, aka an impeachable offense?
Bunch of bull. All of this stuff is just a bunch of bull to take him out of office. That's all the Democrats want, is to take Trump out of office. They don't have a platform to run on except hate, and that's the bottom line.
But what about Sondland? He donated $1 million to Trump.
I don't care about that, okay? They're a waste of my time.
Do you guys believe when Ambassador Sondland, who he donated around $1 million to Trump, now he's saying that there was a quid pro quo?
I don't believe him. You know, you look at their eyes, you watch their body language when they talk, and to me, they lie, they take a sip of water. Otherwise, they sit there, they look at each other. If somebody with new body language could watch them, you would see they're lying, lie. But Trump comes out, look you right in the eye.
I mean, what's more terrifying about Trump is that he does look you right in the eye. And if you told these people, like, don't politicians look you right in the eye and lie to you? Yeah. They would say yes. Yeah. They would say absolutely yes. That's the swamp, drain the swamp. They look you right in the eye and lie to you. But their like bit of evidence as to why you can trust Trump is that he looks you in the eye.
I mean, look, I heard that when you're like riled up on stimulants like Sudafed that you can't get in the United States, it gives you like this false sense of confidence, and you can look anyone in the eye and lie about anything.
Right.
I'm just putting that out there. Check out his taco bowl picture and the drawer that's open behind him. There's like multiple giant boxes of Sudafed that you can't get in the United States.
Wow.
People take those when they do lie detector tests, and that way they can lie comfortably. I mean, I'm just disappointed that someone who drinks alkaline water thinks like that. That first guy.
Was he drinking alkaline water?
Yeah, so I'm like, how is this possible?
That brand,
I would be upset. I would send a cease and desist letter to that man and say,
you know what? He might not be educated on politics, okay, but he is educated on lead in the water, right?
He was drinking.
But like that guy said that the Democrats have nothing to go on. They just want Trump out of office. Then Emma hit him back with a fact, which is something to go on.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want it. Why? Because he just wants Trump in office. So his logic behind his argument is, yeah, if you give me some kind of fact to go on, we can have a discussion. But she gives him a fact to go on and he utterly rejects it.
Yep.
That proves that they just want. And the other point is like the coalition of the Democrats versus the coalition of the Republicans. The Republicans are full of people like this, fine. And then the people that you said that you talked to and the people I talked to who are like, my answer is I just want my tax cut and I'm fine at my 401k and my stock portfolio that half the country does not have the luxury of participating in this game called the stock market.
Oh man, it's those people and then the people who feed off of them and they have no idea and they will fight for Trump even if their America never changes an ounce to better their lives as long as it feeds the hate in their heart.
And
that's all I can believe.
And on the left, you have folks who are in the establishment who similarly are like, I have my stock portfolio, all of that.
Right.
And the liability in the coalition, in their eyes, is the folks that want to improve other people's lives.
Right, that's such a great way of putting it, absolutely. I mean, someone like Nancy Pelosi, and we talked about this off camera, and I think it's a really good point that I brought up and I want to share it with you guys, is like, why is it that Nancy Pelosi isn't as aggressive in fighting back against Trump, right? And it's because Nancy Pelosi isn't in the same situation as the vast majority of Americans, right? Like, she doesn't have as much to lose under a Trump presidency. We have a lot to lose because we have so little to begin with. So, I mean, her stock portfolio is doing well, you know?
Yeah, and there's also like the how to stay in power thing, and in terms of how she understands her coalition to be, she doesn't have that she isn't making the leap of faith of like, what if we actually go full bore on progressive policies?
Right.
Because in her mind, she also lives in this world where you gotta raise money and you have to raise it from whoever, and why would I shut it off?
And she also gets to be better than bad. So as long as Donald Trump is the bad guy, the villain, she gets to be the hero, because in the real world, in the realm of of honor and politicians who actually who care about us, she's the bad guy. Yeah. So give her something to fight against. I mean, would we be talking about Nancy Pelosi this much had Donald Trump not been around? Because she's an establishment person. Like,
yeah. We gotta go to the next story, but before we do so, I want to read a few member comments. This is from Dan. The Trump supporter videos are incredible. Trump is a cult. These people are acting like cult members. No common sense, no sense of reality or facts. What can be done? Clearly, education is a large part of this, as it's quite clear these people are not the smartest smarty in the role. So I agree with you. I think that education's been dismantled and it's been happening for decades now. And this is what the consequence is, right? There's absolutely no way of dealing with, legitimate versus illegitimate media because there's no education on media literacy. Like, people don't know what is and isn't credible. And so, yeah, I think that I think the situation was perfect. Like, the American electorate was vulnerable to the situation that we're in now, and it makes me upset. Megan says, I'm with Anna, I'm not laughing. It's really not funny, it is damn scary. I do laugh, it's to cover up frustration. I totally agree. Sometimes you feel like you have no choice but to laugh or make light of it because every day would be unbearable to go through if this is the stuff that you have to talk about.
It was figurative language, guys. That wasn't
no.
But listen, this is what I was gonna say though when we talk about education, because they come for education, right? So now they've demonized being intelligent.
You're an
that's all
elitist.
part. You're an intellectual elitist, right? So and you're smug. So that's the whole part of the play is, in addition to you're not educated, it's cool to not be educated because the people who are part of the problem.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.